She thinks I'm a warmongerer. Okay. She always says that. They all say that. That's all they ever say. That's all the artificial intelligence ever says. Let me tell you a little bit about Civilization 6. Thank you for watching. Vampires are overpowered. Right now I'm playing the Rise and Fall expansion.
That it's easy to get carried away.
This is very true. This is very, very true. Yeah, I got kind of off topic there. Vampires are overpowered for Civilization 6. You want to get them every time. And the reason they're overpowered is, look at the melee strength is 96. If you look up what the details of what a vampire does in the Civilopedia. Alright, here we have vampires in the Civilopedia for Civilization 6. Combat unique unit of the Sanguine Pact has base combat strength equal to the strongest unit your cities have produced. So right now, the strongest unit that I have is a tank. Just a basic tank. Gains permanent combat strength when unit dies in adjacent tiles. Strength from barbarian deaths is capped at plus 10 when killed. In other words, vampires are overpowered. Their melee strength, of course, is equal to the most powerful unit you've attained, plus some, but they have armor. They have this resistance to taking damage that is just unheard of than any other unit. They can take tons and tons and tons and tons of damage for some reason, and yet they all, no matter what they do, when they loot someplace, no matter if it's a farm, right here I have two movements. Let's just say, for example, if I was to move down here to this spot, someplace I've already looted, like here I think was a spot. Here's a spot. Here's a grove. They heal whether or not it's faith, gold, or science. Their hit points heal. And they just go through and they march through like miniature Godzillas through a town, and they cannot be stopped. Through a civilization, whichever one you may choose, the one that you choose to go to war with, or if they're already at war with you, you just take a one or two vampires and you just go on a looting spree, and you get tons of science, tons of culture, tons of faith, tons of gold, and they all heal. Okay, it's ridiculous how overpowered the vampires are. So you want to get the Sanguine Pact every time. The governor's screen here on the very top, you have the choice between this pact and I think 3 other packs. I don't know if they call them packs. A total of 4. The others are, I haven't really explored that much, but the benefits you get from the Sanguine Pact with the vampires, the fact that they're overpowered for this game, that they cannot be destroyed, and they just march through town like miniature Godzillas and just loot everything, makes the other packs inferior if you choose to be this part of your game. And if you're still watching this video, of course it is, and thank you for watching. I have all the other governors, of course, because you get the bonus toward the Golden Ages, which I am in one right now, and all I need is 251 and I'll be back in the next Golden Age, which I don't see a problem with. Let's just continue and we'll talk about Civilization 6. I gotta pick a science. See, I skipped gunpowder. Didn't even need to research it. And I also skipped astronomy and castles, but I decided to go back and research them anyway. But I did the random shuffle technology tree, and it just happened to work out that way. And I don't even need to research gunpowder. I know that sounds ridiculous, but this is Civilization 6, and it is not as good as Civilization 4 in my opinion, which was the best. The artificial intelligence at least had a brain. Yeah, Civilization 6, the AI is really stupid. They have no tactics, no skills when it comes involved with mining resources. They'll just let the strategic resources sit in their civilization, and they won't build a worker to go a mine or put a mine on that strategic resource, you know, like iron. The ones on the top there, you see aluminum, coal, horses, iron, niter, oil, and uranium. And I'll look. Where's a good example? Here. This is all controlled by AI. Of course, I've gone through here and ravaged through with my vampires. It's just so overpowered. You need vampires. If you don't have vampires, you're not going to have fun. Or you might just have too much fun and be so powerful that it's just so much fun to have so much power. Look at the year. The year is 1763, and I'm going to be researching giant robots, I think, by the year 1800 AD in this game, which is going to be around turn 800 or so, roughly. I've never ever had giant robots that fast. And I'm playing with the civilization of... These are the bonuses. You can read these. They start out with a very powerful warrior. And right now I'm playing on Emperor level, and Emperor level has proven to be too easy for me. Next is Immortal. And I can prove that by hitting the options button and go to save. But I'm not going to actually save my game because I've noticed it will corrupt it here. I only do quick saves because saving the game this way on my PlayStation 4, I've noticed, corrupts the save game, or in the future somehow, later on, my save game it doesn't reload. It gets into this loop, and it errors out, and it gives me an error on my screen, and I can't continue to play my game. So I don't do this anymore. I just do quick saves. But here's just to prove, if I was to save it, you can see the number 6 there. That means I'm on Emperor level. I just play with the AI. And the AI in this game is really, really dumb. They don't understand what it means. I don't know. It's just like what I think happens is as the game gets more difficult, they just give them more bonuses. Basically more pay to play, more pay to win, so to speak. It's not really what I mean, but it's just an example to kind of give a feeling of what I mean. That the artificial intelligence, the harder the difficulty that you choose, and Immortal will be my next choice after I'm done with this Emperor level playthrough, which I'm having a blast because I just have so much power and I'm unstoppable. I am unstoppable. I looked it up. All they do is they just give them better bonuses, better attack bonuses, more gold for winning, better everything. They start out with more resources. They start out with more towns, more warriors, more builders. But that's it. There's no actual brain. There's no intelligence as far as moving troops around. This feller right here, we all know who he is. Harold Hardrada right now in this game I'm playing right now, in this campaign game that I'm playing on turn 783, he has no navy, and I'm going to prove it. Where's my closest ship that I can get over there? I don't know, but I can tell you that I'm at war with him. I've been at war with him for about 50 turns, and so far I've not seen any navy come to my shores. Here I have one little ship guarding the eastern part of my shores here. One ironclad that's never been interrupted. It hasn't seen anything, no action from Harold Hardrada. And here I've got 3 battleships. I can take this battleship, and I guarantee you, just from my experience from playing hundreds of different games, scenarios of Civilization 6 over the past 4 to 5 years that I've been playing this game, hundreds, if not thousands, and I dare say thousands. If I was to traverse over here to Harold Hardrada's areas, there'd be no ships built. And he's supposed to be the civilization of navies. At least one of them. I know there's more than one civilization that benefits from navies, but Harold Hardrada's does. Especially early in the game. And there's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Now I haven't proved that by going over there, but the thing is that I would think I would eventually have seen one of Harold's ships, and he's the orange player. Here's the thing is why I think they don't do that in this game. Why the AI chooses not to build a navy. And they don't. No matter what civilization it is, nobody ever builds a navy. Why is that? It's because there's a... In Civilization 6, they changed things from previous series of civilizations. Like, for example, Civilization 4. I didn't play Civilization 5, but I know in Civilization 4, we had to get transports, troop transports, and then transport whatever land troops we wanted onto those troop transports, and then we could transport them wherever we wanted to. But that has changed. In Civilization 6, they don't have troop transports. They just have this tech tree where you eventually unlock it somewhere down here, around here, way down here, and way in the back. You know, I don't remember. I think maybe it was Celestial Navigation or one of those, where then your troops, they have their own little boats, and then you just basically take your troop, and I'll show you right here. You just take your little troop right here, and you just go boom, and then you just make their own little boats. That's why the artificial intelligence controlled players do not build a navy, because their units can go in the water like this. Why would you need a navy? Well, right, why would you need a navy? If the computer, here I'm thinking in the mind of the computer AI, if the computer AI can do this, why would it need a navy, since troop transports are not needed in Civilization 6? And you might be asking too, if you don't even play this game, why the heck why did I even build a battleship? Because obviously a battleship can take its cannons, and if that was an enemy unit, just blow it away in one turn, and they're all just destroyed. And they're very vulnerable in the water in their tiny little boats. So you can protect them by putting one of your own on there, and then putting a chain on there and locking them in place. And now the next turn they'll move together. And if another Navy battleship, or whatever the case may be, a submarine or aircraft carrier, or, you know, whatever, destroyer, tries to attack my troops, instead now they're attacking the Navy ship that's on top of those troops, protecting it thusly. Yes, that makes sense. But the AI doesn't do that. And when I go to the next level up, which is the Immortal, and then after that is Deity. If I ever get to Deity, then I'm a really good player. But I'm good enough in Emperor, where Emperor is just too easy for me. And that's saying a lot. It took me a long time to get to that point of my play style and how I play. And now I'm going to use that same play style in Immortal, and I may have to. Of course, I'm going to have to adapt, and that will be fun. But at the same time, I'm going to be extremely bored, because I know that the brain, the smartness of the artificial intelligence just won't be there. I'll know that if I meet Harold Hardrada in my next playthrough on a completely different map, different build, if he happens to be there and he's just randomly, I'll know maybe he's got a navy, maybe he doesn't, but no, I played this game long enough to where I know he's not. And that's kind of disappointing. So, Civilization 7. Take what you know what Civilization 4 did, where Civilization 4 actually had a smart AI controlled players. And if Civilization 3 was even more smarter, I think even tougher than 4. Civilization 3 was a lot tougher when it came to defending against it. 3 was a lot tougher than 4 when defending against armies. And that, yeah, and I really mean that. So, and they did good. They kind of dumbed it down, but a little bit too much in Civilization 6. Ugh. It's basically just luck. All it is there's a lot of luck involved. Then there is some skill, of course. It just comes with playing and getting to know the game. There's a lot of luck. And what do I mean by that? Just the cartography of the landscapes of the maps. And this one had a lot of mountains. And for some reason, I thrive when that happens because the AI gets hurt a lot. It's not able to explore as quickly. It's not able to traverse as smartly enough, whereas the human intelligence can. Civilization 6 is a fun game, but man, is it boring! The interactions just aren't there like they were in Civilization 4. With the players, the artificial intelligence players themselves. No matter what era, ancient, futuristic, they're always wearing the same clothes. In the ancients, Simon had the same clothes. Same clothes. And they say the same thing every time when they talk to you. Watch this. This is hilarious. See? They never want to trade. Why won't they trade? I've got all this stuff I can trade. I got this. I got this. They've got nothing right now. They've got nothing. They've got $704. They need them. They need these amenities, these luxury resources. Look at that. He took them. I'm actually shocked. Civilization 6 is a strange game.